Welcome to Meera Codes. In a previous video, we learned about the byte data type and understood how its range is calculated. Today, we will learn about the short data type and see how it's differ from the byte. The short data type is another primitive data type in the Java. Like a byte, it stores the whole numbers. The main difference is the memory size. A short occupies 2 bytes, which means 16 bits. Which since it has more bits than a byte, it can store the much larger range of values. So let's compare the byte and a short. So a byte uses only one byte, which means 8 bits. Short uses 2 bytes, which is equal to 16 bits. So since the short has a more bits, it can represent the more values. Next is a total combinations. So in the previous video, we learned that the total number of possible values is calculated using the formula 2 raised to n. How? Like 0 is the 1 bit, okay, and 1 is the 1 bit. So these are the only two values or a two binary digits that a computer can understand. Like if I say it is a 1 bit, means either the value will be 0 or 1. Either the stored value will be 0 or the 1. That is why I'm calling it as a 1 bit. So there are only two possible values. Okay, that is why it is called as an 2, 2 raised to n. Here, n is the number of bits. Since we are calculating it for the short data type, so short data type occupies the 2 bytes of memory, means 16 bits, right? So here we have a 2 raised to 16, that is equal to 65,536 combinations for a particular range of values. Okay, for example, like if I want to store the value 30,000, okay, then how the computer understand the values in the form of the zeros and ones, right? So there will be the one particular combination of zeros and the ones to store the value 30,000 in the 16 bits. I hope you understood this. So then range formula, how to calculate the range for the short data type. So minimum is minus 2 raised to n minus 1 and a maximum is 2 raised to n minus 1 minus 1. Here n is the number of bits. Now short data type occupies the 2 bytes of memory. So that is equal to 16 bits. So n will be the 16. So minimum is equal to minus 2 raised to 16 minus 1, that is 2 raised to 50 minus 32,768, and maximum is 2 raised to n minus 1 minus 1, 2 raised to 15 minus 1, that is plus 32,767. So the range of the short is minus 32,768 to 32,767. For example, I have declared the variable called as a marks of short data type. The value is 300 and the salary of short data type value is at 25,000. So both the values are within the range of the short. So the program runs successfully. Okay. Here, like another example is like an invalid example. That is, I want to store the value called as 40,000. Okay. Since the 40,000 is greater than the maximum value. So what is the maximum positive value we can store in the short data type is 32,767. But I am storing is 40,000. Okay. So this is an invalid value. So Java gives the compile time error. When to use the short data type? We use a short when the values are too large for a byte, but don't require the full range of an int. Okay? Although like int is a commonly used in a Java, but understanding short helps us to learn how different different integer data types differ in the memory and the range. In this video, like we learned about the short data type, its memory size, total combinations, and how to calculate the range. In the next video, we will learn about the int data type, which is the most commonly used integer data type in the Java. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.